So I've been studying Ma'at. Ma'at refers to the ancient Egyptian law slash philosophy or concept that promotes order, balance, truth, reciprocity, harmony, righteousness, morality, and justice. Ma'at is personified as an Egyptian goddess of truth, justice, and order. So I've been learning about how to get rid of fear. In my reading, it said that fear is always and the only enemy. And I find that that's true with everything. Self-doubt is the biggest way that fear has manifested in my life, and it's something that I've been working to fix. So I do a lot of reading and watching of videos to learn new ways to get rid of fear. And not just ways to get rid of fear, to really understand it at its core. I came across this really cool video last night, and the subject was challenges and what a challenge really is. And the question that was posed is, why is it that so often things in your life don't seem to align with your intention? Meaning you're trying to open that business, you're trying to get out of debt, you're trying to stop using drugs, but yet you still find that you're met repeatedly with challenges and what feels like blockages. And I could really relate to that. I'm going to look down and read from my notes. Challenges are cosmic assessments. The great challenge of life is to become internally consistent to a higher metric and ideal without becoming trapped in your own patterns. The universe is going to test you. Are you ready? Okay, so it says, when faced with a challenge, do not focus on scarcity or complaining. An evolved mindset responds differently with a sense of abundance and security. When faced with a challenge, do not focus on scarcity or complaining. An evolved mind responds differently with a sense of abundance and security. I was like, I can get down with that. I really can. They included 2 really easy mental exercises for when you're met with a challenge. The first one is to embody the mindset of your future optimized self. So like whatever that idea of who you would be if everything you wanted to change about yourself, you changed. What would that person do in the situation that you're in right now? For example, I don't know, you lose your job. Instead of responding as the person that you are now, respond as your optimized self. What kind of mindset would they have? I'm sure they would probably respond logically and not emotionally. I'm sure that they would not worry because they understand that this is a opportunity. A closed door, open door, blah, 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 you know. That's the first. And the second one, and this is the one that I really like, it's applaud every step you take. They said, imagine that every single step that you took in your life to get you to this point, you had applauded. Whether it was a small change or a big change, whether you left an abusive spouse or you stopped eating too many cookies. What if you would have celebrated that? Or, what if it's just you stop wishing ill things on people who were mean to you? It's just whatever. What if you would have celebrated every single step that you made in the right direction? What if you would have given yourself grace for every step you took in the wrong direction? I don't know, food for thought. So then they made this chart. Can you see this? So this line is a challenge. This is called an energy crossroad. Because at this point, when you're met with a challenge, this is the point where you make a decision, right? And your energy will cross over in one or two directions. Either you will embrace positive thoughts and potential, or you will reinforce negative thoughts that you already have in your subconscious. Energy crossroad. I thought that was important verbiage to use as far as reinforcing negative thoughts, because that's really, really what it is. Whenever I'm met with a challenge, my self-doubt is never new. It's the same old cloak of worry. It's the same doubts. It's the same voice. It never changes. So you are reinforcing thought patterns that you have had from maybe old behavior patterns, you know? Old versions of yourself reverberate inside of your mind and in your subconscious, and you think that that's still the same way that you would react. It's not. You know, it's just like an addict thinking that they're going to relapse because they see somebody drink. Dude, that's the old you. That doesn't mean that that's what you're going to do now. So I really liked that, because now I can catch myself. Don't reinforce that negative thought. So the next time I'm met with a challenge, and that's what it is, and that's what I loved about this. And I'm going to go back to the very first page when it said that the challenge of life is to become internally consistent to a higher metric and ideal without becoming trapped in our own patterns. And it's like, oh my God, that's the whole point of me being here. It's to break those patterns. So I don't want to get caught in the present operating off of old thought patterns connected to behavior patterns I've already broken. That equals to self-doubt right now. I don't want, like, that's the old you. So changing is a very challenging place to be. It's like you're walking on untested ground. Everything is very unsure and unknown, and that's why faith is so important, because that's the only thing that's for sure. You know, in my opinion, and people can feel how they feel, it's okay, but in my opinion, I don't think you ever truly really know someone all the way. There are always pieces of them that you will never know. So I don't trust anyone all the way, you know? So I feel like you can never truly trust people all the way. But God, obviously you can trust God. God is God. Like, it hasn't changed. The universal laws haven't changed. You know, the 42 declarations of Ma'at haven't changed. You know, Mother Nature evolves, but at her core, she has not changed. This is who she is. This is what the construct is, and the construct evolves as we grow. But there are certain things like that is the only thing that you can depend on. That's the only thing that I can depend on, is, you know, God. So I like that this highlights that there is a reason for me going through the challenges that I go through. I'm not being punished. I don't need to make an offering to someone, you know. I'm not being, you know, left behind. I am being trained, I'm being tested so that I can evolve. And that makes me feel better. The great challenge of life is to become internally consistent to a higher metric and ideal. So reading that also made me feel better about falling off or falling back when I attempt to make a change and maybe I don't do it all the way, or it takes me a little while to make the change. I don't have to beat myself up now, because I'm like, okay, this is a daily opportunity to change. This is an everyday thing. Give yourself more grace and time to grow. You know, like maybe it's like a baby that's trying to learn how to crawl and then to walk. Like, you're not going to go from crawling to walking. And I feel like a lot of times I feel like I should go from crawling to walking. Like, you're awaking to these pieces of knowledge. So now you know what the goal is. You know what you want to be. You know where you want to go, but you're not quite sure how to get there. Give yourself a little bit of grace instead of beating yourself up saying, God damn it, baby, why aren't you walking? I just realized that I even had the potential to walk, and I am still on my belly. So you gonna give me a chance to grow or what? Okay, so what I got out of this is that the universe is gonna test you. Challenges are not punishments, they're opportunities for you to grow and show the universe that you're ready for the manifestations that you are asking for. I learned that challenges are cosmic assessments, and that was deep for me. I like that a lot. And that the great challenge of life is to become internally consistent to a higher metric and ideal without becoming trapped in our own patterns. So that has taught me to really look out for patterns in my thoughts, in my behavior, and in my communication style, how I write, all types of stuff. So it's just unlocking more ways for me to figure myself out so that I can navigate the trials of life, you know? Something else cool that it said was, trials affirm your commitment. The last few thoughts that I took from this video: nurture a positive outlook because the universe sees your commitment to change and you will be rewarded. Manifestation is the union of intention and alignment, and the challenges of life invite us to transform. I love you. Have a great week.